Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 3 of Mullet Learns to Code. I'm the Whale, and I'm here with Mullet. Mullet, say hello.
Hello.
Excellent. Um, so, we discussed just some very, very basic coding examples in the last episode. I'm just going to bring up Visual Studio, and I'm going to close Steam. Okay, so we're back to an empty project. So before we begin, do you have any questions?
Um, no, I think we should begin and I'll ask questions as we go along. Maybe, I'm reflecting on the last session in my head. And I think the two main things I remember are int and string.
What
And
are they?
uh, they are, um, they're like, I don't actually know what I call them. I remember you telling me what they're called, but I feel like the name's a little bit complicated.
Um, no, not really. I probably did say uh, they're data types. So
Okay, yeah,
they are types of data.
yeah,
Um, the type of data can be an integer, it can be a number, or it can be a string. It can be many other things as well.
yeah.
But conceptualize it as it's a type of data.
Okay.
And a string variable is a box for putting string data
Yeah.
in, and they have to match up, basically. Okay, so the last programs we were writing were kind of boring. This time we want to get some input from the user. I think that'll make it a little bit more interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start. We know this.
Yeah.
We'll call it input. So input is a variable. It's a box for storing a string.
Okay.
And we're going to assign it whatever's on the right. Do we remember that?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to call read line on the console object.
Okay.
Okay. And then what we're going to do then is write line, and we'll write line with whatever's in input.
Okay.
Okay, that's a full
Yeah.
program.
Okay.
Do you have any idea what might happen when we run this?
I do. I assume whatever you write between the brackets comes at the bottom, so it creates like a sentence.
What? Okay, which brackets?
Where it says read line and then there's two empty brackets.
But we've not put anything in there.
Yeah. So. Oh, okay. So do you mean when you run this now?
Yep,
Okay. Sorry.
it's finished.
I do know. I've honestly don't know what's going to happen.
What does write line do?
Um. I'm not 100%.
Write line is the one we were using last time. Read line is the new one.
Okay, so right line is where you kind of, I want to say like you put data into it to get an outcome.
No, this isn't. This is not an expression.
Okay, so it's not an expression. So no, you're gonna have to clarify this for me, please.
So write line writes a line to the screen.
Okay.
So whatever you put in the brackets, it's going to display that on the screen.
Yeah, so it's just gonna say input.
No, because it's going to be whatever's inside input. Input's not a string.
Yes, now I remember. So okay, so it's
That
gonna
would
say
display the word input.
yeah. So input is what's above, but you've just highlighted in green.
Yeah.
So what's gonna come in right line is whatever it says after input. So is it gonna say console.readline?
That's read line.
Read line, sorry, yeah.
No, it's good because this is an expression. So whatever the result of this is going to be put into input.
Okay. And then the right line will be whatever the result
Yeah,
is.
this would have been a lot quicker if I'd have just shown you.
Yeah,
But I thought I'd ask you because when I show you, it will be obvious.
yeah. I think it's better to ask because now I can understand the process better.
So if write line displays a line of text to the console,
Yeah.
what do you think read line does?
Um, Allows you to read it. Maybe I don't know, mate. Does it
Ah,
read it to you?
no.
Um,
Okay, I'll just show you.
okay.
Press F5 to run.
I'm running. I'm on my treadmill.
Oh, well, it doesn't look like anything's happening.
Is that because you haven't put an expression in between the brackets where it says red line?
Read line. That says
Read
read
line.
line.
I'm gonna keep saying that. You know what I'm like, but read line. I meant. Sorry.
No, because we don't know what read line does. Well, I know what it does. You don't.
Is it because we haven't got an input? We haven't actually got anything to be inputted.
Read line doesn't take anything. Read line doesn't need anything. Let's type something. I'm going to press enter here to complete the line.
What type of dog?
You didn't see what happened there.
No, I didn't.
Let me see if I can make that work in a better way. Right, ignore what I'm about to do.
Okay, I've closed my eyes.
Okay, basically that last bit is to because what happened there was the program finished and closed the window, but it didn't give us time to look at what was in the window. It just closed it because it was finished.
Yeah.
That wasn't happening last bit because it was set up a bit differently. This last bit will tell it to wait for someone to press a key before it closes the window. So we'll do it again. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
Where have you got that from?
It's got all the letters of the alphabet in it. Oh. Why did we get that? Why did it display it again?
Does read line double? Times it by 2?
Well, no, because...
Copy and paste?
Well, what did write line do?
Write line copied what input is.
Yeah, but what's input?
Input is what should be displayed.
Yeah, but well, no, no. In specific terms, you have to be exact. Input is whatever the return value, whatever console.readline gave back. It gives back a string. Can you see? So whatever string this produces, that's what goes inside of input. And then write line just displays what's inside input.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I'm not sure why it's done that. So, I mean, my question would be, so there's like an equation then, isn't there? Like, of what input is. There's like a process that relies on taking place before you can define what input is.
Yeah, there's an expression here, not an equation, an expression. Yeah, input is the result of this expression.
Yeah. So it's like almost like a maths problem, but with letters.
No, don't think of it like that. It's something that happens.
Right.
It feels like algebra sometimes, but it isn't quite the same. So remember, it's going to go to here. It's going to come to here. It'll come and think, oh, input needs to be something.
Yeah.
There's an assignment operator here, so I'll take whatever's on the right and put it in on the left. But what's on the right is a method call.
Yeah.
So, oh, well, I've got to call that method. I know it's going to give me a string. So, when it gives me the string, I'll stick that in input, and then I'll write whatever's in input out to the screen.
Okay. So why, when you wrote in that black box, what happened?
That was running the program. That was the actual program running.
Okay, so when you were writing...
Yeah.
That was the program allowed you to do that. That was like the end product of the program.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes
I
sense.
told it to do that. Yeah. Which part of the program lets me enter text? Do you think?
String.
No, string's a data type. It's just a dumb data type.
Write line.
Write line puts text back to the screen.
Okay, so read line.
Well, what ended up back on the screen?
It says below. It says console. Red key true.
Ignore that bit, and that's read key.
Oh my god, I keep saying red. It's because I can't see the A. Anyway, so can you re-ask the question, please?
Okay. Shall we run the program again?
Yeah, go on.
Well, let me just do this. Okay.
Yeah.
There are 5 of them. I could explain this. I mean, I don't know if I'm explaining this the right way, but I want you to make the connection.
Okay.
Does that help? I'll show you the program.
Can you just move your arrow? So, whatever you wrote in that program becomes input. And because you multiplied it 5 times, you get to see it 5 times.
I didn't multiply it.
Because
I repeated it 5 times.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. Multiplied was the wrong word. I was thinking times 5, that's what I was thinking. But basically, all you've done is repeated it 5 times, haven't you?
Yeah.
So
what does that tell you about input? We know it's a string. What does it contain?
It contains whatever you write inside the black box, inside the program.
Okay, so in this example, what does it contain?
Says hello.
No, what does input contain?
It contains letters. Oh, my nan's not shouting. Nan, I'm busy! Sorry. So it contains...
What's in it? What was displaying to the screen?
It says hello.
Okay, so what is in input?
Hello.
Yeah, the string of hello. How does that get inside of input?
Did you write it inside the program?
Can you see it inside the program?
Yeah.
This is the program.
Okay, so what's the black box?
This is runtime. So this is the program running. This is the code for the program.
Right.
And the black box is called a console window.
Okay.
This is what console means in here.
Right. So is input whatever you put inside the console window?
Well, yeah, but what part of the program makes that happen?
The bit after equals.
Well, it's the bit before equals as well. We're telling
right, because it's a string. Yeah.
Well, no, because it's an assignment. It's something on the left, and whatever's on the right gets put inside of what's on the left.
Okay.
So the bit that, like, normally you can't type, you have to do something to tell the program to let you type.
Okay.
Now, this write line is showing information to us. So, read line is us doing what? Do you think?
Showing information to the program?
It's allowing us to provide input to the program, yes.
Oh, so it's like a conversation?
Well, no, it's just a concept. It's not a conversation. It's more abstract than that. All read line does is it reads a line from the console and puts it into input.
Okay. And write line does the opposite.
Yeah, and they've got opposite names.
Oh yeah, cool. So just explain that for me again. So, in because I think I'm getting it here, but I just want
That's okay.
I just want it summarized. Do you know what I mean? So I can kind of reflect on it. So write line is the computer. So
No,
read line is
don't think of it like the computer. The computer is doing everything.
yeah.
Okay, write line is something we can call, and we can give it some information. In this case, it's input. It will take that and put it straight onto the screen for us.
Okay.
That's all it does.
Yeah. So whatever we put in write line is shown
Yeah.
directly on the screen.
Yeah, the parameters. Oh, the arguments to write line. The argument to write line is input in this case.
Okay, so if we put okay, so I understand. Right, so that makes sense. So because you've put input, yeah, in front of write line,
No,
okay.
I've not put it in front of write line.
Is that an expression that you've put there?
Where? What line?
Where it says input in brackets.
Well, technically, yeah, but that's not in front of write line.
No, it's not. So it becomes a part of write line.
It's the argument to write line.
Right.
It's something write line needs in order for write line to be able to work. It needs something to display. That's where you tell it what to display.
Okay.
Read line doesn't need anything to display because it doesn't display anything.
Yeah.
It brings it back. How can I explain it? It doesn't display anything. What it gives to the computer, whatever you type, whenever that's called, it'll stop the program and wait for you to type something.
Okay.
And then whatever you do type, and because it's a line, so you have to do a line and press return, it'll put whatever you type into this variable input.
Okay.
And then all we're doing is just telling it to display it right back at us.
Okay.
Is that complicated?
No, I'm understanding it in little steps.
Okay.
So
it gets easier with practice, and this seems like a difficult example, but really, like, a lot of the code you write will be like this, and this will become very, very simple.
okay. So
You'll see it a different way.
Can you run an example for me again, please?
Well, should we change it?
Yeah, so I can see it in action.
Okay, so we've got input.
Yeah.
String uppercase. We'll make a new variable, and we can do. Oh, I tell you what we can do. We can call a method on the string class called toUpper. Oh, it turns out we can't. Is it input.toUpper? Yeah. And if we do console.writeLine, uppercase, I'm going to rename that. Uppercase input. Whoops. Oh, Visual Studio is so stupid. Okay, what do you think is going to happen here? Remember, ignore the read key bit at the end. I will explain what that's doing. But don't worry about that for now. So now what are we going to get?
So write line.
Start from the top.
Okay, sorry.
Always start from the top because that's the way it's going to go.
Started from the top and now we're here. So input, it becomes what read line is.
No, it becomes whatever read line returns.
Okay,
what does read line return?
Well, whatever you want it to be, because you can write it in.
So whatever we type, it's
so
not.
In this example, there is nothing.
No, it's. What do you mean?
There's nothing between the brackets.
You can't put anything between the brackets. It doesn't make sense to.
Okay.
What's it going to do if we put something between the brackets?
Does it just break the makes the program unworkable?
Uncompilable. I'm not sure actually. It might let you do something. No. It doesn't like that. What does readline actually do?
It's whatever we type becomes part of the program.
No, you've got to stop saying things in like those broad terms. You have to be exact. It's like whatever we type when we're running the program goes into input.
Yeah.
It doesn't become part of the program. It's just in input. It's just dumb data.
Okay. So readline just becomes input.
No. Readline's a function.
So readline works.
Readline does something.
Okay.
It asks us to type something in, and then whatever we type in, that's what it resolves to, which then gets put into input because it's right to left.
Okay.
So readline does something. That's why it's in yellow.
So everything that's yellow does something.
Depending on which software you're using.
Yeah.
It's a verb, basically. Think of those things as verbs. They will do something. Whereas input isn't a verb. Input is just... Input's more like a noun, but it's a box with something in it. Basically. But it starts out empty, so we have to put something in it. It's called a variable.
Yeah.
So when readline happens, because it is something that happens...
Yeah.
The result of that becomes input.
Yeah. So when readline happens,
what does readline do?
It kind of it allows you to input. I want to say input data.
That's exactly the right word. That's exactly the right description. It allows us to input data. How much data are we allowed to input?
I think it doesn't that decide on you. Like, how much data you want to put in?
Well, no, there's a maximum. We can only put in. Well, it's on the screen. We can only put in one line's worth.
Okay.
As soon as we finish the line, that's it. Readline is done because it's done its job. It's read a line.
Okay. So readline literally means read the line below.
No, doesn't. Readline means read a line of whatever the user types.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's literally what it means.
Readline means read the line of whatever the user types. And then
no, that's not what it means. That's what it does.
Yeah.
And
so readline. And then readline becomes input.
No.
Oh, sorry. And then because you put input equals bar console readline, when below it says input, doesn't it? So put below.
Where? What line?
Where it says string uppercase input equal input.
Ignore that bit. We're still on.
Okay.
What does input represent? Like, what's actually inside of input when it gets to line 11?
Whatever is below. Whatever's in line 10.
There's nothing in line 10. Line 10 is blank.
Yeah, so input becomes... sorry, I need to start using that word, becomes, don't I?
Input gets the value. What value does input contain?
It gets the value of whatever you choose to put into readline, so whatever data you input to readline.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's what happens. More specifically, it becomes whatever readline gives it. But what readline gives it is what we typed in.
Yeah. So in line 10 now, if you wrote, I like to eat carrots, and you ran the program, the readline would input the data of I like to eat carrots.
No. this is the program. This is a list of things that are going to happen.
Oh, okay. So I'm now understanding. So read line.
The read line is happening now.
Yeah. So what you're telling me here is read line is saying whatever happens after me becomes peak input.
No. This is I'm struggling to explain. Okay, so input becomes whatever is on the right of it. If the input gets assigned to whatever is on the right of the equal sign. What's on the right of the equal sign?
Console.readline.
What is that? Is that a method? Are we calling a function? Does it do something? Is it data?
It's a process. It's something that assists the process of input data.
No, it doesn't. It's not assist. It's like
it just is.
Well, is it something that's going to happen, or is it something like this? Is it like if we did that, then input gets assigned the value of hello.
Okay.
But instead we do this, so input gets assigned the result of this. This is something that happens.
Yeah.
And what happens when the program runs this bit? It's the first thing that happens in the program.
It creates the program?
No. Read it from left to right. Read the line from left to right because it's perfectly descriptive.
Input equals console.readline.
Okay.
So input's
going to get assigned a value of some kind.
Yeah.
We know that.
And the value it gets assigned is console.readline.
No.
Readline.
It's whatever this resolves to, whatever this turns into.
Right.
And so we're asking it to do something for us. We're asking it to calculate something. Or give us a result of some kind that we can put into input.
Yeah.
This is a verb. This does something. Remember, yellow is verb.
Okay.
And the thing it does, it goes off and it reads a line from the window, from the console, and whatever line it reads, it puts in to input.
Okay.
It assigns to input. Well, input gets assigned that. Like this should say. So this is happening now. So this is the line it's reading, and as soon as we press enter, it'll finish reading the line, and whatever's here will be assigned to input. Whatever we type on this line gets assigned to input.
Okay.
Do you follow?
Yeah. I think I follow. So yeah. So okay. So it's a lot to get my head around.
It's okay.
But I'm definitely learning.
This feels very abstract to you, and probably very contrived and useless as well. But it isn't. It's extremely important. Not this specific example, but the concept.
Okay.
It helps to break it down. So we know an assignment's happening. We understand this bit. We understand everything on this side of the lab. So we understand all this bit. Input's going to be assigned something. And whatever it's going to be assigned is whatever ends up here.
Yeah.
And readline, I mean, we can go into readline and see what it does. Maybe. Yeah, maybe not. But that's readline. Readline is actually running some other code for us, basically. But you don't need to think about that. All you need to know is it's going to read the line from the console.
Right.
It's going to allow us to type something in, basically.
Yeah.
And then whatever we type in, that's what it returns. And whatever it returns is the thing on the right gets put into input. It sounds complicated when you say it like that, but it's
No, I actually think it
lots.
sounds less complicated when you say it like that.
It's lots of little things that are happening. The assignment
Yeah.
happens last, so the assignment happens after this is finished.
Yeah.
We know this is an expression because it has to be, or else we can't assign it. Because otherwise, there's nothing to assign.
Yeah.
So the computer will get to here. It'll go, okay, input. We're creating a new variable of string. It's a string type, so we know we've got to have a string. Oh, here's an equals. That means we're putting something into it. What's on the right of this equals? Console.readline. Okay, I'd better call console.readline and see what it gives us. And whatever it gives me, I'll put into input. That's the way the computer does it.
Yeah, oh my gosh. 1 second. Yeah? Okay. Yeah? Yeah, I am. Sorry, just seeing if I was still busy. Okay, so I feel like that. Like I still feel very uncertain. Okay.
You need to practice these things and
yeah, I was
play
going to
around
say
and see what
it
happens
looks
with
clearer
them.
though. So, yeah, so yeah, because I feel like I'm putting ultimate focus in, and I'm staring at string input equals console.readline, but I'm as much as I'm learning what they do, I don't yet fully understand what they do. But I suppose that's natural. Do you know what I mean? I've not even spent 2 hours doing this.
Yeah, and it isn't that important. All you need to understand, basically, at this stage, is that readline is a way for us to get the user to type something in.
Okay.
And then whatever they type in ends up in input. It's
Yeah.
as simple as that. I've explained it in a really complicated way. But yeah, that's basically it.
So you just summarised with a sentence that, which was, just repeat that sentence you just said.
Readline is a method that we can call that lets the user type something in to input something to our program.
Yeah.
And whatever they type in ends up in
Input.
It gets assigned to input.
Yeah. So then when input reoccurs later on in the chain that creates the program.
No, when it reoccurs in the program, there's no concept of a chain here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's very important.
It's just assigned that role. Okay, no, that's cool. So I understand. So readline helps assign a role to input. So it becomes what input is. Becomes is the wrong word. It inputs data.
All it does is it becomes the data that you type in, and then input becomes that. But it's not like becoming it. It resolves to that.
Yeah.
It resolves to whatever the user types in.
Okay.
And then input takes whatever's on the right, but whatever on the right is what this is resolved to.
Yeah.
So that's what gets assigned to input. Input hasn't become it. Input is still just a box with that data in it. That can be changed. We can just do this. And then whatever was input, when it gets to line 10 and it executes line 10, whatever the user types in is lost. Because we've just overwritten it.
Okay.
It's a living thing. And then we can do it again. And now input is just the string hello. And this bit's completely redundant. In fact, it's telling me that it's redundant. Value assigned to input is never used. Because it knows we're overwriting it. The software is clever enough to work that out. And we're doing it again here. But if we get rid of these... And now it's happy with that. Okay. Shall I run this program and show you what it does?
You can, and then I think after that it'd be quite a good time to summarise this episode. Are you happy with that? Or is there more you want to show me?
Well,
in the world of coding.
Let me just show you this example.
Okay.
But I will ask you first. what do you think this does? Just first start off the top of your head. Remember, input is a string.
Yeah, so
it's
two
sequence.
upper.
Yeah.
I don't know, for some reason I feel like it's relevant to what's above it. Upper. What it actually does, I don't know. Two upper. So I'm going to assume, does it two upper, so it adds two upper. So what's above?
No. Like, this line has no relation to any of the other lines.
Okay.
The concept, when you're running the program, the concept of lines doesn't even exist. This is just
Right.
this is a list of instructions. It's like following a recipe.
Yeah, just repeat that. I think the your headphones cut out. You said it's like following a recipe.
Yeah. So
It went quiet for like 2 seconds.
so you look. Never mind. We're getting off track.
Okay.
So basically, two upper takes whatever's in input and converts it to uppercase letters,
Okay, that's cool.
and then whatever that returns,
Yeah.
where does that end up? What happens to that? It gets assigned because we know it's on the right of an assignment.
Yeah.
And where does it get assigned?
To input.
No.
To read line.
When an assignment happens?
Oh, sorry,
the thing
to
on the
uppercase
right.
input. To uppercase input.
Yeah. Don't guess. Try and work it out, or else it will take us forever.
Yeah. So right, I'm kind of understanding that. So
Okay. Now this is exactly the same thing that's happening on the line above, except it's just a different function that we're calling.
Yeah, it's just to turn it to alphabetical. What am I saying? To uppercase.
Yeah. And then we write out whatever the contents of uppercase input are.
Yeah.
So off the top of your head, when we run this program, what will happen?
Yeah, I think it'll give us a blank screen, but whatever you type in will be in capital letters.
Well, you're almost there.
Okay, so whatever, after you finish typing in, it'll turn what you've typed in into capital letters.
That's right. Because at the moment, I've not pressed return yet, so read line is not finished.
Yeah.
Read line is still running. As soon as I press it, it's going to carry on going through the rest of the program. Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you see?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
And yeah, but input is still the same as it was. Input's still what the top bit is, because we've not changed it.
Okay.
We've got two variables. One's got the uppercase version of it, and this has got the regular version of it. And I can prove it, because we'll display input as well. So we'll show what input is on the line afterwards.
Hello, this is capital letters.
So you see, input is still the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, no, I think I understand that process now. Now that you've done it, I think I understand it more.
Yeah, and this is a contrived example, but the takeaway here is to know how to get input from a user. Know how to store it, because that's what this bit is doing. This is the bit that stores it. This just provides it. And we can manipulate it.
Okay. So, essentially what this lesson was set to show me is that we can, A, store data, and
No,
B...
we already knew we could store data. We covered that in the last lesson.
Yeah, but I mean, the process of storing data, how we go about doing that.
No, input. The difference between data and input. So, we're storing... The thing we've learned here is that we are getting how to get data from the user.
Okay.
We already know how to store it, because all we've got to do is assign it to a variable.
You're right, okay, yeah.
Like, we can do this if we want, but it doesn't make any sense. In fact, it now doesn't like that because we've removed the input variable.
Okay.
But we can bring it back. And so why didn't it like that? Oh, because input's not assigned. There it is. Okay. It'll compile that. It'll run that if we ask it to. And if we type something in, we don't see it.
Oh, sorry, it scared me. Someone said boo. Okay.
Do you know why we don't see it?
I do not.
Well, on line 10 we set input to boo. That's
Also,
so that's what input is until we change it.
Yeah. And you put that in an expression.
What?
So you put, but because it's in brackets, it's called an expression, yeah?
No. Typically things in brackets will be expressions, but that's not the reason. Expressions resolve to a single value. Okay. The point is with readline, we're calling it, so we get to type something in, but we're not starring it.
Right.
We're not putting it into input.
Right.
We're just calling it and then discarding it straight away.
Right.
So we have to do. Whoops! You're not allowed to change the program while code is running. So we can do this and get rid of this line because it makes no sense anymore. And now it fixed it. We have to capture the thing that readline gives us. Console.readline is an expression because that resolves to a single value. Readline has to resolve to a single value because we're assigning the answer. I think we're asking this a question, and whatever it answers, we're putting in input. We're assigning to input.
Yeah.
And then we're doing things with input, and this is the same. We're asking the question, what is input if we converted all the letters to uppercase, and we'll put the answer in uppercase input.
Yeah.
And then we're just displaying it.
Okay, there's I feel like there's a lot of relevant information here, yeah, that I need to practice to be able to understand it better.
Yeah.
Because we've gone over the same topic a few times, and I'm understanding it. Like, I'm understanding
That's
it.
okay. Yeah, of course.
But
you need to play about with it and try and
the
break
information
it.
isn't 10 out of 10. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
Like, in my head, I wouldn't say, if someone said, do you 100% know what this is? I'd say no. But,
of course.
You know, I reckon I understand it.
You don't need to learn all the complicated terminology, but I'm explaining it for parity's sake. It's like, you need to know how to do it. Basically, you don't need to know that this is an expression, or this is a method call. You kind of need to know that, but you need to know what they do, basically. Not the complicated.
Not why, but.
Well, you need to know why things happen, but that stuff will come. You need to know this is how you assign something.
Yeah.
You don't need to know this is an expression. You just think whatever's on the right goes into whatever's on the left.
Yeah.
But if it's a verb, then the verb happens first before the assignment. You see what I mean? It's like, and I hate to use the word verb because I'd just rather use the correct terminology, which is a method call.
Okay.
And they're all in yellow. These are all method calls. And that's just basically, we're just telling it to run some code somewhere else and give us a result. Yeah. Most of the time it'll give us a result. Sometimes it doesn't. Like console.writeline doesn't give us a result. That's what that void means there.
Okay.
It means no result. So we can't assign anything to the result of writeline because there is no result. Anyway, I'm tangenting again. You were talking about something.
No, I'm quite happy with how that's gone. I think I'll definitely watch this video back though. I feel like
practice it.
I think I'd learn more. I think it'll become clearer once I've read it back, then practiced it as well. Do you know what I mean? Like I say, now I'm not I would not claim to understand this knowledge absolutely, but I definitely have better. Like I'm definitely understanding more than what was probably about 40 minutes ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you'll be doing this so often, especially if you're making a text adventure.
Okay.
You'll be doing text manipulation, string manipulation all the time. That's what a text adventure is.
Yeah.
But readline is where we get, like, the user can type a command in there, for example,
Yeah.
and we can do something with that data. We manipulate it to produce an output. That's all that programs do, really.
Yeah. And then that output is what we using the program read on the screen.
Well, it can be. It doesn't have to be.
Sometimes see on the screen.
Yeah, I mean, that's a way of outputting. Output is when the program communicates with the user.
Yeah.
Input is when the user communicates with the program.
Okay.
Basically.
Yeah.
But the flow typically goes input, process, output. If you see, this wasn't a meaningful program because the input was the same as the output. We just got back whatever we typed. But we already knew that.
Yeah.
Take this for example. If we do this, this will introduce a bug, but it'll be subtle.
A ladybird.
Hmm. I don't think it's going to let us do that. No explicit cast exists. Why don't it let out? I forgot how to do this. Okay. Now we've got a nested. Now we've got two functions, but the input for one function is the result of another function. Basically, readline returns a string, but we want to put it into an int. So we use this parse, and it'll convert it to an int if what we type is a number. If it doesn't, it'll blow up, and it'll crash. But now we can do this. Rad key.
Totally rad.
Yeah. So it's good. So this is actually interesting because look at the way it's trying to resolve this. It's going, okay, so I need to resolve whatever's on the right, so I can put it, so I can assign it to whatever's on the left. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of this equals.
Yeah.
So what's on the right is a call to int.parse. But what's inside? But what that needs is the result of readline. So it's doing readline first.
Okay.
Because parse can't run until readline is finished. This is exactly the same as what we were doing before with writeline, where we were just putting text in. It's an expression, so we can do it. So if we put in 1, we'll get 64 back. If we put in 10, we get 640. So now it's producing a meaningful output rather than just repeating what we've told it. It's actually doing some processing now. And you see where that's happening there. See, that probably seems like this bit probably seems obvious.
Yeah.
Okay. I can break this. Oh, I've crashed it.
Died.
And it crashed because the thing I typed was not an integer. It wasn't a string that could be converted to an integer because there's no integer representation for the word hello. Doesn't make sense. Hello's not a number.
Yeah.
So this is our first bug, our first crash. Let's celebrate. I also massively knew that was going to happen.
Sorry, there's some guy outside my window playing trumpet.
I can't hear it, so that's okay.
No, it was a joke. He's celebrating. He's playing trumpet.
Oh, you scared me. I thought we were going to can the audio.
No, that's That's the second bug. I paused it. Yeah. So okay, no, that's that. So it's been interesting.
Yep, sure.
I think. Are we good there?
Yep.
I'm definitely gonna once this is uploaded. I'm definitely watching it back.
Yeah, and like I say, I encourage you to try. That in the next lesson, we'll learn probably the most important thing we've learned so far, and
Okay.
it'll be the thing that it might be confusing at first, or it might make perfectly clear sense to you, but
Okay.
it's the most important bit, and you might see how we'll use that the concepts in the next lesson might help you form an idea of how we can make a game using this stuff.
Okay.
Because
That's
think
cool.
of it like this: at the moment, our programs just start at the top and go straight to the bottom. That's it, done.
Yeah.
How do we make a game out of that? It's not very easy, is it?
No, I mean, I have been thinking that.
Yep. Okay, so there's a little teaser for you. Everyone who's watching this who's done any programming knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I remember I'll say it for the next lesson.
Okay, that's great.
Okay. Thanks for watching, guys. That was more of a tricky one. But like I say, I'm new to teaching this, and Mullet is new to learning it. So it's an experiment. We're not expecting to be perfect right off the bat. It's a learning process for both of us. So
it's gonna take time.
Do bear with us, but I think it's fascinating to see the process.
Yeah, I agree. And it doesn't have to be a rush. Do you know what I mean? We'll get there again.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be rushed, and as you learn more concepts, you will get better at learning the concepts.
Yeah.
So it's important to get this ultra fundamental, ultra basic stuff. It's really basic and it's beginner stuff, but it's fundamental throughout any programmer's career.
Yeah.
You use it all the time.
Yeah.
So
it's almost like the organs of a body.
Yeah, that's a very good description. It's the cells of the program. It's the smallest building blocks of software.
Yeah. It's the minutiae.
Yeah, and the detail is in the minutiae.
Yeah, I love that film.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. We shall sign off there.
Yep, join us for episode 4, guys. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, take care. Bye.